Back, Snapchat stock update. So on Friday, it looks like stock was down 4%. And last time when I made a video about this name, we talked about this stock being in this range and not try to bottom tick this name. So on Friday, it slipped below that 52 support I was watching, pretty much closer to 51.50-ish, maybe even 51.50. So that was acting support for this name and closed slightly below. It doesn't mean that it can reverse, but I see there's not much of enthusiasm out there. I want to call it that way for this stock. And it was same thing with Pinterest and Twitter, because I was watching these names for the past a few days, and not much of a volume, not much of an action. So people who tried to bottom tick here, and if the price goes lower than that, those people can get discouraged and some stop losses will get triggered. Next support would be $50. Below 50, I'm watching 48. So I think 48 is a good spot to try to say, hey, I think that's the level I will get in. And one thing I use, there are a lot of things I use actually, a lot of indicators. So moving averages, we're not going to look at 50-day, 200-day, and 100-day moving averages. The stock is below all of those levels. One thing I use is volume profile. Volume profile, if you know how to use it, or if you don't know how to use it, please look it up. A little bit complex, but basically whenever you see these big spikes here, that means that's where the most volume at that particular levels traded, which means you can if you try to accumulate shares, or if you want to buy shares, that's where you should do most of your business. And even if those levels don't hold, then you can have a stop loss, because if stock is losing demand at the levels where it traded the most, well, that means there are sellers now. So that's why on Friday, basically when I was watching this $53 level, that was the level where the most volume traded recently, and it slipped below those levels. But again, it's still early. Of course, we have next week, but which will be short week. Volume will be low, Thanksgiving week. And I don't see much happening for this name all the way till these levels, 48, which is a support on a chart, on a stock chart. So that's why I'm watching 48. But if I switch to different time frames, okay, we know that from all-time highs, stock is down significantly, but year to date, I want to look at the yearly chart for this stock. Stock is still positive, slightly positive, but it's still green. Year to date looks like Snapchat opened slightly above $50. It will be negative year to date if it goes below $50. All right, so that's the yearly chart. So not too bad looking here. Even if we finish the year somewhere at 60s, maybe low 60s, high 50s, it will still be a positive year for Snapchat. So, and also I speculated a lot in the back that saying, hey, this stock very likely will get added to S&P 500. So if you look at their EPS reports, last 4 quarters, they have been reporting at least positive, or right here they reported break even. So maybe a couple more quarters. I was maybe a little bit early, but if that happens, of course it's not going to change the fundamentals of the business, but all those mutual funds, ETFs, they will have to own it. All right, it will cause a big institutional demand for the stock. I mean, already has a lot of institutional demand, but holders, but ETFs, mutual funds, again, they will come in and buy if the stock gets added. And I'm just thinking that I still think that it's just a matter of time until this stock gets added to S&P 500, because market capitalization of this stock 82 billion, and to be honest, I don't know how often they kick out stocks and add stocks. I haven't tracked S&P 500, but usually whenever it gets added, that's when you can just take a profit or trade this hype where a lot of people have to own this stock. So I still think that it's just a matter of time for this name. And what about the option activity? Friday, 150,000 calls were traded, 100,000 puts were traded. Quickly, let me take a look at the volume, option volume. Well, let's filter out by the biggest that came in. So next year, February 18th, 55 call, 55 call. January 55 call, 55 call, 55 call. So biggest orders were these calls next year. There are some puts as well. June 40 put, June 50 put, 2023 35 put, 51 put, 50 put. So short term people are betting that stock may go below 50 for November 26. So I'm seeing for November, looks like option activity is bearish, but long term people are betting to the upside. June 70 call, June 70 call next year. So yeah, so that's what's going on with Snapchat. I hope you guys liked it. Don't forget to like, subscribe if you are new. Thank you. I'll see you in the next one.